Hi, Kat here for Lightwave Digital. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Lightwave ScreamerNet in a very simple way to render something while you're still working on your scene in the background or in another machine maybe you've got available to you. Let's say, for example, I want to render this scene out. I've already got everything set up, so it's got a saver and I've got a location that it's going to be saved out to. So I could have F10 and render it this way. It would render out the sequence. Or I can use Lightwave ScreamerNet to do the same thing. So under the Lightwave Pro Tools system, you'll find a tool called Render Lightwave ScreamerNet Command Copy. And what this will do is it will write a file, as we just saw here in the message bar, telling you the location of that file, which will typically be under your users folder, the system administrator name, .lightwave digital, Lightwave, Lightwave 24. So it's right here where all your shortcuts and your config files would be. And then you can execute it. But before I do that, let's take a look at what that bat file actually looks like. So I'm going to open it up with Notepad and explain to you what this is doing. So first thing that's happening is this batch file is kind of like a script. If you're familiar with old DOS, users would have a bat file that would, autoexec.bat. That would basically launch your, Windows program or a game like Doom or something like that. Very similar idea. It's just basically a script, and it's telling us that we're going to launch from this directory LWSN in -3 mode, which is a specific type of render mode for ScreamerNet, and it's going to give us the location of the configuration files. Okay, and then after that, it's going to say here for data or the content directory, and then finish off with unnamed, which was the original file. So I'm going to close this because it hasn't written it out yet. Close that down as well. All right, and I'm going to delete this one because that's old. All right, so we'll run this one more time, and we'll just make sure this is saved. Yep. Okay, and the moment that I run this, it's going to save that out, and we'll notice that I've got a new command copy. So let's take a look at it and make sure it's done the right thing for the right scene. There it is. It's written out the file to be rendered as this particular scene file after setting the content directory for the project, using the configs that were associated with this install of Lightwave, and from this particular directory, which is where my current Lightwave 2024.0.1 is. So I can now run this safely, and it'll go through the steps of setting up ScreamerNet extremely fast, load all the configs, which means loading all the plugins necessary to render the scene, and then load the scene file, and then proceed to render it out. So if you scroll all the way up to the top here, you can see the command itself. You can see this Lightwave ScreamerNet. The moment I let go of the mouse, though, it's going to jump to the current line that's being rendered. So there are all the instructions and everything else that's necessary to do that. And it's an automatic tool. You just got to go and find it in the directory where it writes it to, and you're good to go, and you can run it. I do recommend deleting the bat file each time after you run something, but you can notice now that I can actually close my Lightwave down, and this will still run in the background. So it's great for being able to walk away from a machine, lock it, let it render. You don't have to worry about anything.